What's up, fellow gamers? So in this one, I want to talk about some of the DLC fighters that we got, and I want to stick with the lightweight division, focused on Teofimo Lopez. I'll just start with him. Then I'm going to go on to Emmanuel Augustus, and then I'm going to talk about Billy Dib, which some of you probably don't want to hear about, but I still think it's good to cover all of them. So Teofimo Lopez, obviously the best of the bunch, 87 boxer puncher. And what you need to know about him is just make sure you're throwing straight shots and you're counter punching. Because if you look right here, you see a straight shooter. He's got straight shooter 2, and it increases the accuracy of all thrown jabs and straights by 15% and decreases the accuracy of all hooks and uppercuts by 5%. So make sure you're throwing jabs and straights. And also Sting Like a Bee, increase the damage of thrown counter punches by 10%. And that's where I said you got to focus on countering. And if you look, you can see he's stacked. He's stacked. The highest of all the DLCs in the lightweight division, but not the most fun. And you guys already know where I'm going with that one. But when you look at his, I want to say, I'm trying to find it. Where's the counterpunching? And strength. Look at counterpunching, 90. Look at straights, 90. So focus on the counterpunching and things are going to work well with Teofimo Lopez. And if you look at his breakdown, and I want to go to his info here, his reach isn't that spectacular. Because you see Terrence Crawford has the longest reach in the division at 74. And then you have Sugar Ray with 72, but 74 and 72, and then you got Teo. It's relatively short at 68 inches. I mean, even some of the lower players in here are 70. Most people are Dalton Smith, Billy Dib at 70. So Teofimo you got those short arms. So focus on counter punching. They're not T-Rex, but they are short. And then I want to go to, I don't know if you guys want to see any of the gloves and stuff. You've probably already seen them so far, but there's the glove, default. And then his 2020 gloves, then the shorts, default, and then I have the 2020 shorts, and then the boots. You see those boots right there, and then the default. So, but here's the special one. Then I want to go to Emmanuel Augustus. So with Emmanuel Augustus, this man is beautiful. It's just beautiful. I love the way he plays. He just feels so unique. Now, fighting style is an outside boxer. And the main thing with him, if you look at his traits, his agility. His agility is 90, extremely high. And he moves so fluid, so smooth in there. And then you have the stamina, which is at 90. And that's critical because it needs to be at 90 for how much you need to move with him. That's the thing about Emmanuel Augustus. You have to keep moving because guess what? When you look at his traits, loosey-goosey 1, which means all damage dealt when you're in that loose movement is increased by 25%. And you can tell when he's moving around in that loose movement, it is different. It is more his flavor. And you feel like when you're not in loose movement, you're not being yourself. You know, you still can do those moves because he has specific taunts, and I'll show you those specific taunts here in a second. He does have those, but it's still nothing like it. And switch hitter, what makes it good, because you're constantly going to be using your taunts. And it's not anything against your opponent. It's just so you use the flair in which Emmanuel Augustus has. And as you see in this video right here, it fits what he's doing in the ring. The flair that he's showing in this video is exactly what they captured. And I think the SCI team, the development team, did a great job with Emmanuel Augustus. The other trait here, the good thing about switch hitter, it says no penalty for switching stances. So if you switch from southpaw to orthodox, no penalty, you can still stay in your flow. And that's good because as you're doing your taunt, sometimes you might hit that like over on the left D-pad. You think you hit over on the left D-pad and then you hit right. And next thing you know, you're switching stances instead of using your taunt. So you got to be aware of that. But let's go ahead and look at, show you the taunts. And I wish you could see the taunts here. Like, why can't you preview these taunts? But anyway, this is the taunt. I'll try to show him in the game. These are the taunts. Is stepping back. That's unique to him. You got the leaning back. That's unique to him. They added tee-hee. Got the tee-hee. And then the peacocking you got right there as well. So he's unique all the way around. And that's what makes him feel good. And I'm going to go ahead and show you. I want to make sure I show you those in game right here. I'm just going to show you them all right here. Let me get away from this guy. Oh, my loosey-goosey. See how loosey-goosey just gets it right in the mood. There we go. Got that one. Go ahead and get back. Will you get off me? All right. This is the tee-hee. See that? And then where's the stepping back? Oh, that was the stepping back. You see that? That's my stepping back. And then that one doesn't step back, but you see the similarities? Trying to cut the ring off. That's funny. They have another one. I didn't equip that one. That's the peacocking. They got another one, but I didn't put that one in here. Oh man, I could have lit him up. I just wanted to get that heavy. See, look at his stamina. See how much stamina I dropped him. This is another thing I just wanted to say while I'm playing Augustus right here. When you slip, you got to throw the hook. Because if you slip and throw the uppercut, watch this. Oh, see how slow that is? It's letting you know, the game is letting you know, do not throw that. Throw the hook. Hook is fast. See? Make sure you throw the right. Looks like you can throw it before you even finish the animation. See, look at that. And you give 25% more damage and you take more. And then we're gonna go to Billy Dib. Now with Billy Dib, the main thing you gotta do with him, he's very low. As you see, he's 80. So you got Adam Ahmed down there, Jordan Gills below him, but Dalton Smith's on par with him. But the main thing you need to know is to make sure you're using your jab, make sure you're keeping your distance. That's his thing. Distance Keeper 1 increases the damage of thrown jabs by 10%. As you see, I went against Marco Antonio Barrera with all of these boxers because I just wanted to use the same fighter or go against the same fighter, that same style, come forward style that Barrera has. And it actually worked really well with Dib. But you have to stay in loose movement and make sure you keep your distance. And as you see here, he's pretty low on everything. But when you look at his heart, his courage is 85. And that's even higher than Emmanuel Augustus. That's probably his highest rated area. And it kind of makes sense that this is a fighter that beat cancer and then came back and got a unanimous decision victory in a comeback fight because he didn't want to go out. He wanted to go out on his own terms. And so that's why he came back to fight and he got a victory. So beating cancer, coming back and fighting again and getting a victory, man, respect to Billy Dib. But he's not that good. He's not that good. But I enjoyed using him in loose movement. You know, everything felt smooth, but still, it's just not my favorite. My favorite is Emmanuel Augustus out of the choices that we have in the lightweight division. But those are the lightweights. I'm going to cover the other ones in a separate video. I don't want this one to run too long. So the other DLC that we have, and I'm going to cover them in a separate video, but we got Sebastian Fundora. Good Lord, what a cheat code. Tim Tszyu that's in here, who Sebastian Fundora just completely destroyed, throttled. Then we have, let me go back this way. Of course, in the lightweight, we just covered all the lightweights that we got. And then we have Antonio, where's Antonio Tarver? I got to find Tarver. Here we go. Then we have Tarver.
Any questions? I got a question. You got any excuses tonight, Roy? Let's not ask questions like that. Let's touch the left and go to work. Tonight, Roy.
So those are the DLC fighters that we have right now. So that's Tarver, Fundora, Tszyu, Augustus, Lopez, and Dib. I don't think I'm forgetting any. I think that's all of them. And then, of course, you got all the customizations that went along with it. But that's all I have for this one. Appreciate you guys tuning in to this. Till next time, y'all. Peace.